I could just show up and play a great set, play some amazing songs, post some clips afterwards, stuff like that. That's probably what most DJs in my position are going to do. Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Mitch, but you may know me as Ray Callahan, and this is the start of something truly special, something I've been dreaming about for a while. Today marks the beginning of my journey to North Coast Music Festival. I've been dreaming about playing music festivals for a very long time, and when I started this project a year ago, I did it with big festival stages outdoors in mind, impacting lots of people. And I wanted to bring you along with me every step of the way. And this is a little something I like to call Ray Callahan behind the scenes, the road to North Coast. I started this project a little over a year ago, mixing live saxophone with house and disco, funky house. And I played some really cool gigs in Minneapolis and in Chicago. And I've been slowly building this idea of saxophone dance music, pairing saxophone with electronic dance music, and that's kind of been my whole brand, is saxophone. But this is the biggest opportunity I've had so far, and I want to bring something truly original and special to the stage. And it's been a grind to get here, and it's going to continue to be a grind, and I want to make sure this gig can go as best as it possibly can. And I can look back on how I treated this gig and think this was the start of a rise. But how did I get the gig? Last November, I went to Chicago Music Nexus, and that was the key to starting off my first year with Ray Callahan to success. It taught me how to market, it taught me how to treat my brand, it taught me how to go about things, the mindset to have. And I went there with the plan of, I'm going to get a gig in Chicago. They told you to set a goal for yourself, and that was my goal. I hadn't played many gigs as Ray Callahan, and I wanted a gig in Chicago. And I got it. I talked to the right people and left a good impression, and I got to play Soundbar this past January, the opening set. There wasn't a huge turnout, but I like to think it went pretty well, and I represented myself well. I provided worth before the gig and after the gig. And then after that, I emailed them, thanking them for the slot, saying I had a great time. And then I said, if you know anyone at North Coast, I would love to play North Coast. I think I'd be a great fit. Why did I say that one in mind? Well, I could see them adding a DJ and saxophonist, and I can tell they like a little bit of variety. So I think they could take a chance on Ray Callahan, who's relatively new. A few months later, I get an email back saying, hey, I got a slot for you closing out the silent disco stage. Are you interested? I say, of course. And I wasn't so sure at first it was going to be a great fit, because I did not want to just DJ, and I'd never seen a saxophone and DJ at the silent disco. So I told them I want to play saxophone and DJ. And they said, yeah, of course, you can do that. And the rest was history. And I could just show up and play a great set, play some amazing songs, post some clips afterwards, stuff like that. That's probably what most DJs in my position are going to do. But that's not going to get me as far. That if I provide a great set, they see it, that could be cool. But let's be real. We don't know who's going to be listening to a silent disco stage set on Sunday, and I'd be lying if I said I don't think I deserve something better. I think everybody in the silent disco slot is always hoping for a bigger stage next year. And so, how am I going to capitalize on this gig? Make it something worth my while, and make the festival say, we are so glad we booked him. We are getting him a bigger stage next year. So there is so much I can do to capitalize on this gig before and after the festival that so many DJs aren't doing. So I made sort of a plan over these next 2 months before I play. We're going to go through that plan. First, and probably the most important in the festival's eyes, is promotion on social media. So I'm going to be doing 4 to 5 Instagram reels in a week over the next 2 months. And at least one or two of them in that week are going to be geared towards North Coast. I'm going to be playing saxophone over some of the artists that are also playing on that festival, shouting them out, letting them know I'm playing at the festival too. And then I'm going to be showing the behind the scenes of my set prep, stuff like that. And then I'm also trying to get as many non-followers over these next 2 months so I can build my following to a really good point by Labor Day weekend. I'm around 500 followers. I would like a minimum of 1,000 followers by Labor Day weekend. And my whole thing with Ray Callahan is I am a 1970s saxophonist who has time traveled from 1978, and he is making his way in the electronic dance music world. So I'm going to be reacting to music of today, stuff like that, as a 1970s saxophonist would, and putting my own spin on it. Next, I'm releasing my first, not my first single, but a single at the end of June, Is It a Crime, I've been working on. Played it at a gig this past weekend, went really well. I'm very excited about that. Probably most important, I am getting my sax dance music EP to be released this August. Is it finished yet? No, but I am self-releasing it because I believe in my promotion strategies that I don't need to be reliant on a promoter. And if I release it in a great way, promote it, it is a great thing that people before and after North Coast can grab onto and say, this is this guy's sound, so they have something to listen to in the car on the way to the festival or on the way home. And then the biggest thing is I am going to have 10 original tracks in my set. I was originally thinking about trying to make my full set originals, but with the other stuff I'm going to do with Instagram promotion, YouTube videos, I don't think that's really possible. But I'm working towards 10 original tracks. The good thing is these 4 tracks I'm going to release, the EP and the single. That's 4 out of the way right there. And I've got a lot of others in the bag. I want to have my own sound, something they know what my sound is when they are leaving my set. And after the gig, I am going to highlight a bunch of stuff that happened. I have some secret stuff planned that I am not going to say right now during the festival. But the biggest thing on capitalizing this gig is promotion for the festival before and after, talking about the gig, talking about this festival, the artists on the festival, showing lots of content of the festival before the festival and after. And I think that's going to be the key to getting festival slots next year. If these, even other festivals, see what I'm doing with this one, how I capitalized on this one. And I just want North Coast to think, man, this guy really made it worth our while for this slot we just kind of threw in, didn't really give much thought to. So I can get a bigger stage next year. If you're interested in joining me on this journey, be sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. I will see you for episode 2 in a few weeks. See ya.